What if the life you're living right now, with all its quiet longings and its unspoken dreams, isn't just happening to you, but is actually being whispered into existence by you? There's a story you tell yourself when no one else is listening, a deep and hidden assumption about who you are and what you deserve. And without you even realizing it, the world has been faithfully, relentlessly mirroring that story back to you in every relationship, every opportunity, every single day. But what if you could change the story? What if, by turning within to the only reality that has ever truly existed, the world of your own wonderful imagination, you could revise it all? If the idea that your own consciousness is the sole cause of your experience stirs something deep within you, then you are ready to remember who you truly are. Embrace this journey with us. Explore these truths deeper. Subscribe and let's awaken this power together. Consider the narrative that plays in the quiet theater of your mind. It's not just the occasional thought, it's the background music of your being, the quiet, persistent voice that narrates your world. Things always work out for me, it might say. Or perhaps, I have to struggle for what I want. This is your assumption. It's not a hope or a wish, it's a deep-seated, unquestioned truth that you've accepted about the nature of your reality. And here is the life-altering secret: your outer world is not creating this inner story. It's the other way around. Your inner story is projecting your outer world, piece by piece, moment by moment. You are not a passive audience to your life. You are the author, the playwright, and the lead actor all at once, whether you know it or not. We walk through our days collecting evidence, don't we? We point to a missed opportunity, a difficult relationship, a financial hurdle, and we say, "See, this is my life." But that's looking at the shadow and calling it the source. Neville Goddard invites us to turn toward the light. Every circumstance you encounter, every reaction you receive, is first and foremost a reflection of a story you are already telling. If you assume people are generally kind, you will move through the world with an openness that attracts kindness, and you will notice it everywhere. If you assume life is a battle, you will put on your armor every morning, and sure enough, you will find an enemy around every corner. The world is a magnificently responsive mirror. It cannot show you anything you have not first, in some way, claimed as true about yourself and your experience. This is where your true power lies, not in fighting the reflection, but in changing the face you present to the glass. It requires a courageous honesty to listen to your own inner dialogue. What are you silently claiming as an unshakable truth about your worth, your potential, your destiny? That claim is your blueprint. You would not look at a blueprint for a small, cramped room and be surprised when the builder finishes and you feel confined. So why be surprised when the assumptions you've casually, repeatedly etched into your consciousness manifest as the walls and doors of your daily existence? The moment you dare to revise that inner story, to tell a tale of grace instead of lack, of love instead of separation, of victory instead of struggle, is the moment you pick up a new pen and begin drafting a new world. The ink is your feeling, the parchment is your imagination, and the first draft is written the second you feel the reality of the new story, not as a future promise, but as a present fact. Imagine standing on the shore of a vast ocean, looking longingly at a beautiful, distant island. That island represents your deepest desire, a state of being where you are healthy, loved, prosperous, and at peace. Most of us spend our lives on that shore, wishing, hoping, and building rafts to get there someday. We wave at the island, dreaming of what it must be like. This is living in the state of wanting, and the universe, in its faithful response, simply keeps us firmly planted on the shore of wanting, because that is the state we have chosen to occupy. Our energy is invested in the absence, not the arrival. Neville Goddard asks us to make a breathtaking leap, not of action, but of consciousness. He invites us to close our eyes on that shore and to instead feel, with every fiber of our being, the sand of that island beneath our feet. To feel the sun of that reality warming our skin, to smell its unique air, to experience the profound relief and joy of already being there. This is the essence of living from the end. You are no longer a dreamer on the shore. You have, In the only creative realm that truly matters, your own imagination, crossed over. You have assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is where magic separates from mundane goal setting. It's not about affirming, I will be confident, while feeling insecure. It is about dropping the will be and allowing the I am to saturate you. You don't visualize the promotion, you feel the settled authority, the quiet satisfaction, the new rhythm of your days, as if the title is already yours. You don't beg for love. You fall asleep wrapped in the feeling of being cherished, known, and deeply valued. You grant yourself the emotional reality of your desire in the present moment. Your imagination is not a fantasy playground. It is the workshop of God, the sacred space where your future is literally being molded. By dwelling in the feeling of the end, you are not pretending. You are pre-forming. This practice requires a gentle but fierce discipline of the mind. When the old story of lack or limitation knocks, you do not entertain it. You return, again and again, to the sensory reality of your fulfilled desire. You sleep in it. You let it color your moods and your quiet moments. You are impressing upon your deeper, subconscious self a new truth. And that inner self, once convinced, must express itself outwardly. It begins to rearrange your perceptions, guide your decisions, and attract circumstances that match this new, dominant feeling. You stop looking for proof from the outside world and instead become the living proof from the inside out, walking in a kind of pregnant confidence that what you have felt and assumed is on its way, because in the realm where all things are created, it is already done. Now, here is where faith becomes your most practical tool. You've dared to assume a new state. You felt the reality of your wish fulfilled in your imagination. But when you open your eyes, the old world seems largely unchanged. The bank statement looks the same challenges seem to sit on your desk, and the logical part of your mind begins to shout, yes, but how? How is this possibly going to happen? This moment is the critical crossroads. This is where most people abandon their assumption, believing that because they cannot see the path cannot exist. Neville Goddard calls this the period of the bridge of incidents. And your only task is to understand that you are not the builder of this bridge. You are the one who must walk across it. Trying to engineer the how from your old state of consciousness is like trying to draw a map to a place you've never been, using the rules of a country you've never visited. It will only lead you back into anxiety and doubt. Your rational mind, brilliant as it is, operates on past data. It cannot compute the series of seemingly chance encounters, unexpected opportunities, and sudden inspirations that the universe is now orchestrating on your behalf. When you plant the seed of an assumption in the fertile soil of your consciousness, you must trust the process of growth. You don't dig up the seed every day to see if it's rooted. You simply know it is, and you provide the water of your continued faith. The bridge will be built from events you could never have arranged, leading you sometimes in surprising directions, but always inevitably to the destination you have felt so deeply within. This requires a beautiful surrender, not of your desire, but of your outdated need to control the machinery of fulfillment. Your job is to remain faithful to the feeling of the end, to persist in the quiet knowing that it is done. As you do this, you'll begin to move through your days with a new lightness. You'll take inspired action, not frantic, forced effort born of lack, but natural, almost effortless steps that present themselves clearly before you. You'll follow a hunch, reach out to someone, or see a new angle in an old problem. These are the planks of your bridge. They may feel ordinary, but they are divinely arranged. Do not retreat from them because they don't look the way you thought they would. The universe is efficient and clever. It will use the most direct route, often through the landscape of your current life, to materialize what you have assumed. So when the how arises in your mind, gently answer it with this: my only responsibility was to claim the end. The means are not my concern. I am walking the bridge, and with every step, my new world grows closer and more real.